Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Alopecia Angel Podcast. I am so excited and thrilled to be here with you. Today, we are going to speak about the 5 things that you should not be doing while you have hair loss, while you have alopecia. And this is very important because many times when we're diagnosed, we start trying to do all the things, right? We're going here and there, and we're doing this and we're doing that. And many times it's not about doing so much. It's really about less is more and honing in until what actually works and getting you to that finish line. And so I wanted to bring to light a couple things, a handful of things, 5 things to be specific about things that you shouldn't be doing when you have hair loss so that you can start to mitigate and start to decrease your efforts that are potentially being misused and then really redirect them into other areas. If you are new to Alopecia Angel, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. I would say go to my website, alopeciaangel.com. You can find free PDFs there that will get you started with your journey if you are new and recently diagnosed. However, if you already have hair loss and it's been many years, again, this also applies to you because whether you're recently diagnosed or you've been lingering with hair loss for years or decades, this still applies to you because again, many times we're doing the things that aren't moving the needle. So let's get to it. Number 1. Use medications that your doctor has prescribed. This is first and foremost. If Alopecia Angel, if you know me, healing naturally, getting to the root cause, and truly identifying what works for each individual person is what I'm known for. I'm known for having fast results in less amount of time for hair growth. And this is the power of using in your biology, but then also tailoring it to you so that it can always be something that is sustainable for long-term hair growth. The beauty of going natural is that you are not subjected to risks or side effects or any other area of your life or health being hindered because of the medications. So number 1, don't use the medications that are prescribed to you for hair loss because they don't work long-term. At some point, they're going to backfire. And many times when you stop using them, it actually creates more hair loss. You could see this in many of the JAK inhibitors, the cortisone shots, the minoxidil and Rogaine, etc. And so these are not answers to your problem. What really is the situation is that doctors only have these treatments and they're trying to cover up a situation. And this is why I look at the root cause and I get to it because this is the only way to truly heal. Let me give you a clue. Many times it's more than just one root cause. Many times it's 2 and 3 root causes or even more. And so this is why it's so important to really get to the bottom of things versus just trying to cover it up and get a quick fix because these quick fixes are not long-term strategies. It's just the opposite. It will actually hold you back from your full potential. And so it's not worth it and it's not playing the long game. The other thing that I wanted to recommend is when you're considering, or let's say you've already taken some of the medications, go look at those side effects. Go look at the ramifications of this. I have a free PDF on my website. And this is very important to understand like what you're getting into because it can affect fertility for both men and women. It can create erectile dysfunction. It can harm other areas of health. And so these aren't just minor things like a headache or dry skin. This is actually a bigger deal. And this is actually why I went the natural route myself, because I didn't see any results with the meds. Sounded awful because of their immune suppressing and their side effects. And it wasn't something that I wanted to choose for myself. So I hope that if you're here, it's because you're in the same boat and you also want a natural resource, a natural way of healing. Number 2 that I would recommend you not do is to try the over-the-counter things like the serums, like the specialty shampoos and the minoxidils, the Rogaines, or anything else, because again, those will lead you to be dependent on a product that again, at some point has a shelf life and at some point will backfire. We're not meant to be on medications or toxins or using the same shampoo all the time. And for those of you who are loyal to one shampoo or are loyal to one conditioner or hair product, be very conscientious of this because I actually have another free PDF on my website about all the hair products, hair lines, and brands that either have been in lawsuits because of hair loss or that actually cause hair loss, hair problems, cancer, cervical cancer, and other things. And so there are hair products, hair lines that are attached to all these other outcomes. And so this is something for us to be aware. It's not broadcasted, but if you do your research like I have, then you will have this information. You can easily get this free PDF on my website. Another thing that you should avoid doing is to avoid the one size fits all gimmicks. What does this look like? This looks like the laser caps. A lot of people ask me, numerous people actually ask me if laser caps work. They may work, they may not work. However, the results come in months, 12 months later. They don't come in within a few weeks. They don't come in within a few months. And the other thing is, it's not getting to the root cause, and it won't work for everybody, especially for autoimmune. It's not going to work for you, especially for other types of hair loss. It won't work for you. It's because we have these underlying root causes that need to be discovered and uncovered and addressed. So the laser caps, the PRP, save your time, save your money, because these things do not work. And if they do, it takes years for it to work. Plus, you have to have the commitment and the consistency, right? Using a PRP it's a once a month session. Each session is around $25,000 to $5,000 US. And then from there, it's 2 to 3 years process. With laser caps, it's the same. And you need so much time a day, normally anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour a day of use. And then it needs to be every day for at least 9 to 12 months, if not more. And the laser cap itself is around maybe $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. I've seen them as much as $10,000. So it just all depends. And granted, the cheaper ones, they're not going to give you the same quality, right? And so it's also a situation where you're rolling the dice. But when it comes to biology, when it comes to a personalized plan, this is where you actually know the outcomes are going to be in your favor always. And so that is the beauty of that. So another thing you should avoid is taking a bunch of vitamins for hair regrowth, whether it's an elixir, whether it's a tincture, whether it's an all-in-one supplement or hair, skin, nail supplement. When you start adding in a bunch of things that maybe you're not so educated on in terms of the ingredients, or maybe the ingredients look okay and they look healthy, but when you start adding in a bunch of things, this can make things more difficult. Because a lot of times ingredients are not for you, they're against you. A lot of times too, there's ingredients that you shouldn't be taking at a certain stage, whether that's in life or whether that's for your certain condition. The other situation too is that when you start taking anything off the shelf, education is necessary, but also the interaction between the supplement and your medications, or the supplement and other supplements. And so this is also necessary to understand, and a quick Google search is not going to do it. Another thing, I'll add that as a bonus, Googling how to heal alopecia is not going to help you. AI is good for a certain amount of things, but it's very superficial. When it comes to true healing, it's going to be personalized. It's never going to be a one size fits all. So if I were to Google right now, hey, how to heal alopecia areata, it's going to give me a bunch of general things, but maybe none of those things apply to me. And so you see how this is necessary, because I've said this over and over again, where we can all have the same type of hair loss, but the way in which we treat our hair loss, our factors that are involved in our blind spots are all going to look different. And so therefore the treatment is going to look different. And this is why I have a personalized plan for everybody when they come in and start working with me, because the one size fits all doesn't work. It didn't work for me, and more than likely it's not working for you. This is why we have a runaround of so many doctor visits and trying to get in and trying to see this and trying to see that person, and then trying this approach and that protocol and this protocol, when none of it is truly moving the needle or working or getting us results. So the other thing I would say to stop doing is to stop the wait and see strategy. So what do I mean by the wait and see strategy? So sometimes people are diagnosed with something, and instead of taking massive action, they sit back, relax, and just wait and see. I will tell you that the wait and see approach doesn't necessarily apply here and will only create more harm in the long term. For example, I've had clients who are recently diagnosed for the first time, but I've also had clients who are diagnosed maybe when they were 9, 10 years old, and they had one vicious cycle around that age, and then maybe another one when they were 16, and then maybe now another one at 25. And so when you see these 3 different vicious cycles, each one has been progressively worse, or potentially what they've done in the past to fix this or to heal this isn't working right now. And it's actually exacerbated the situation. So what happens? You need to change, right? What got you here won't get you there. And so that's the situation that we're in. So waiting and seeing, waiting and watching is not an approach. The thing is, things won't get better on their own. They only get better by change. And when you're diagnosed with anything, I would highly recommend that you take massive action, you start doing your research, and you start getting onto a plan that is personalized to you so that you can start to see the results, heal this once and for all, and then never again have to deal with alopecia. I say this from experience, not just from me helping my clients, but then me also healing myself. I had alopecia areata. I healed myself naturally. It took me over 4 years. And when I did, it was just incredible. It was amazing. All the symptoms came off. I felt better. The hair growth was coming in. The inch that I lost in my forehead came back. The eyebrows, the eyelashes came back. Everything filled in. I have amazing density and thickness. I grow an inch of hair a month, and I can track this with my gray hairs and my highlights, and I'm thriving. And this is where I want you to be at. And this is where I know you can be at too. And so it doesn't matter about the age. It's never too late. You're never too old. Age is actually a myth about hair loss. They like to correlate it, but at the same time, it's also because we're not supporting our body the way we should. We need to support our body at every stage. The other takeaway here is that if you've had these vicious cycles, they will progressively get worse. And then this is where I've seen my clients where they're actually completely bald. They're in universalis or totalis. And they're like, okay, now I'm at my wit's end. Before it was alopecia areata and I can manage it with maybe covering my hair, doing a different hairstyle or wearing a hat or something. But now there's no covering it unless I need a wig. This is where people start getting anxious about it because they don't want a wig. And I understand that. I never wanted a wig either. I never wanted to use toppers. I wanted, and I want always my own hair. And you can have this. And so truly waiting and seeing is not the situation that you want to, or the approach that you want to take. It's really taking about massive strategic action and how to get to the next step. Next week, I'm going to be talking about the 7 things you should be doing when you have hair loss. And so I look forward to talking to you then. And in the meantime, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to email us at any time, message us on Instagram. Please share this podcast with friends or family. And also, grab those free PDFs on my website, alopeciaangel.com. This way you can be notified and understand the medications that cause hair loss, the alopecia meds and their side effects, the hair products that are in lawsuits or have a history of causing hair loss. Many of these products, I will tell you, are in your regular stores. I've lived in many countries, and so a lot of those brands are everywhere worldwide. And so some of these things you should be really aware of because you could be using a shampoo today that's causing your hair loss. So something to know, something to investigate, something to realize. Thank you so much. I look forward to talking to you next week. Take care. Thank you for listening to the Alopecia Angel Podcast, a positive light in healing alopecia. You can do this and we can help. Spread the word that reversing alopecia is possible by telling your friends and family.